Hey, what's going on? Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. We're going to do some live song reviews tonight. Hope you guys are doing really well. You had a good weekend. I'm going to get into songs by how they were uploaded. If you haven't joined us before, I'm Bradley Denniston. I am a music producer, audio engineer, composer. Been in the music game for 20 years plus. And yeah, Grammy, Oscar, Emmy nominated work, platinum record, got a bunch of accolades, cool stuff. And I'm here to kind of give you guys feedback on songs, structure, writing, mixing, mastering, production, all that good stuff. But I'm very focused on market viability, okay? So that's really what I'm going for. I hope you guys are doing well. A lot of you guys have been in here before, but for anybody that's new, that's who I am. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. And the upload link is sent to my mailing list, okay? So if you want to join the mailing list and you want to get in on these song reviews, of course, just shoot me an email, bradley@radium-media.com. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it right here in the chat. And yeah, I'm just going to give you guys the best feedback I can give you from my perspective. Obviously, you know, I don't think I'm the only one that's worked on Grammy, Oscar, and Emmy nominated work and platinum records and all that. But, you know, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of my time tonight. So typically goes about an hour and I go by time uploaded. So first come, first serve. That's it. And then we have a day completely dedicated to the Radium Roundtable, which is $5 a month. And on Wednesdays, I review the Radium Roundtable members only. So if you guys want to jump into that, that's $5 a month. You can join it. You can click on that little button there. All right. There's plenty. Let's see. Castro, what's up, man? Castro in the house. Castro's always got the stuff cooking. I think you're the first song tonight too, Castro. What's up, Daniel? How you doing, bro? Nambo. What's up, Eric? All right. We got the fam in here. Craig, what's up, man? Brett Jr. No, I'm not going to be doing that. So basically every time I send out an email, it's that day. So if you get in there, you jump in and you upload your song. That's how it works. I can't keep up with all the different links from every single day. So cool. Let's get into it, guys. I'm going to bring you to the desktop. I think we got all these here. And again, I'm just going to start from date, time uploaded, all right? So Christian Castro's up first. Super nasty. Let's go, Castro.
Down like you never had. I'm going down, I ain't scared of hide. I bet that make you smile when I kiss you out. Then turn around, I get you out. Just listen here. I bet that get you aroused when nobody here. Open your mouth, girl, volunteer. I bet that on my ground when you throw your real. I'ma hold your hips, girl, throw that ass over here. Your mama bad. She hot, she show me ties, say she don't show nobody. Or she be bustin', but I'm a hustler, so I'm judge her. She fuck like grown women, pussy feel like home, nigga. You ain't gotta fix it if it ain't nothing wrong with it. Freak, she like Richie when she bone. Say my shit, she be leaking when she come. I'ma beat it, I'ma keep it on the low. I bet that catch that ass when you drop it. I bet that be the best that you ever had. I bet that be my chest like I'm Tarzan. I bet that put it down like you never had. I'm going down, I ain't scared of hide. I bet that make you smile when I kiss you out. Then turn around, I get you out. Just listen here. I bet that get you aroused when nobody here. Open your mouth, girl, volunteer. I bet that on my hoe, your hips, girl, throw that ass over here.
pandemonia. Dijiste quisiera ser mi novia. Mami, hagamos ceremonia. Siempre he estado como una errónea. Agita pelo negro como Kylie. Hace lo que quiere como Miley. Yo lo que te quiero dar es lati. Quiero que me cante como nadie. Amanece en mi cama en la mañana. Pide la revancha como Maidana. Yeah. Hey.
Dope. Strong song to open with. I love that. So yeah, Christian, like first things first, like I think the intro is a little too long. It kind of feels like it's just going to be a beat, you know, like, all right, we're going to hear an instrumental trap beat. You know what I'm saying? Just like hearing this. You know, I'd cut that in half at least. Like, just give me like 15 seconds of that. It is a cool sound. It's a cool sample. I love the loop. You probably like pulled the melody loop or pulled the beat off somewhere. But it's cool. I like it. It has a vibe. It's very modern. You know, that's very modern production right there. Just the you know, backwards, you know, like sounding like a sample chop. Love it. Think it's very modern for trap music. I would say overall, you're kind of like putting lyrics and vocals everywhere there's a gap, and I really don't think you need to. You know, I think sometimes you just got to let the track breathe a little bit. Every time you stop singing or rapping, there's always like another ad lib or another thing thrown in. You know, the you know, like, and all this stuff going on. I think it makes the track a little too busy. Sometimes you want to go back to that beat. You want to go back to that, like, that core sample kind of vibe that's really kind of driving this track's intro, and just give us that mood again. You know, maybe drop out with the arrangement where you have just that loop and like drums can hit again, and you can come back in with vocals. Just give us a pause, a break from all the different vocal stuff. Just feels like every little gap, every hole, there's another vocal thing plugged. Other thing is, I always find the sub frequencies in your mixes, they're like getting smashed down a little bit. I like to hear that a little bit more open. I want to feel that really, really low sub stuff, meaning anywhere from like 50 hertz to about 30 hertz. I think like that area is kind of missing in your tracks and the 808s and stuff. You know, that feeling where it's like rumbling the floor a little bit. I'm just not getting that out of this, and I think it would make the track a lot more dynamic, make it a lot bigger, feel bigger, more intense. And then the other thing is, I think that you're kind of clipping out a little bit, distorting the vocals a little too much. That could be with too much compression, too much processing. It could be with saturation plugins. It could also be with the limiting that you're doing on buses or on your master bus, etc. So that's really like starting to distort these vocals in here. And when there's a lot of information that builds up, when you're stacking instruments, for example, like say the drums have a lot of 500 hertz, and then you have the synth sample that has a lot of 500 hertz, and then your vocal comes in, it's got a lot of 500 hertz, then basically what's hitting your master bus is just a ton of 500 hertz, which is going to be the first thing that's going to get knocked down, right, by a limiter. But it's the first thing also that's going to go into distortion, because you're driving a lot more of that frequency, which means, especially in those mid-range areas, there's a lot of information, a lot of voltage. So just try to save voltage where you can in that mid-range, so you don't start distorting the vocals. But overall, man, I like the vibe. I like the track. Some things are a little bit too inaudible as far as lyrics, where I'm kind of like, I have no idea what you're saying there or what's being said there. And I think that's going to take away from the track. Like, it's a vibe, but I think you could definitely get the lyrics through a little bit better. All right, let's move on. Kush, Psych Master. Let's go.
Laid up thinking about me, laid up thinking about trees, fade tight in a white tee, flows nice, sing it lightly, can't sleep, 25, let me pour it for the psyche. Laid up thinking about me, Laid up thinking about trees, fade tight in a white tee. Flows nice, sing it lightly, can't sleep. 25, let me pour it for the psyche. Let me pour it for the psyche, body looking enticing. I ain't here for sleeping, baby, can you bring the vibes in? Wanted to get lifted, baby, can we put the chives in? Rip it, then I'll let it, couple seconds get to grinding. Finish, then I'll fidget. When I finish up my visit, I'll be calling Brody in a minute. Making bread, I'm too efficient. Keep it blunt and keep it swisher. Really trying to live the local vida. I got that shit that you might not be worried about. I got that shit that leave you breathing in the clouds. I got them plans you couldn't even say aloud. Having fun within a man that's already smiting a child. And we're sliding on a late night. It's a light one, girls are flashing brake lights. Might invite some, building on my pipeline. The money might come, told my brother sit tight. You're lit right, the night's young. Laid up thinking about me. Laid up thinking about trees, fade tight in a white tee. Flows nice, sing it lightly, can't sleep. 25, let me pour it for the psyche. Laid up thinking about me. Laid up thinking about trees, fade tight in a white tee. Flows nice, sing it lightly, can't sleep.
Okay, I really like the vibe. I love the feel of this track. I think it definitely has a place. It's very, you know, boom bappy, kind of R&B, just chill vibes. I think you can find a lot of playlists and stuff on Spotify for something like this. The only thing that like really like irks me a little bit is like it's a minute 47 seconds long and I already feel like it's too repetitive. You know what I mean? It's like it's 1 minute 25 in and I'm like, okay, it's just repeating itself over and over again. And that's fine to do with hooks and stuff as long as you're like changing up some of the music, right? And when you just have that the keys just doing the same thing the whole time looping, the drums kind of doing the same thing the whole time looping, and then the vocals start to loop as well, then you kind of lose people. People are just kind of like, oh, this went from a vibe to like, oh, this is kind of just boring, you know? So that's the big thing here, Kush, is like, I would really work on making this just a little bit more interesting, more dropouts, switch up the drums, maybe bring in, I mean, I heard you had strings kind of come in during the chorus. That helps. You know, maybe even like try to, in the mix, make the electric piano tuck back a little bit. Or have a vibe, or like mess with it, lo-fi it, resample it, pitch it, do stuff with it, you know, to like kind of give it a different vibe, you know what I mean? Because it gets really boring. Like you're just hearing the same thing over and over, and then you get into this looping thing and the late night, think about me, and it's just kind of like, okay, all right, I'm over it, you know? I think a lot of people would just be over it by the time they get into like the second chorus. Like once they hit this second part here, they're kind of like, oh, okay, I've already heard this song, you know? Like by the time you're here, like that's a minute in, you're like, I've already heard everything, apparently. So yeah, just try to mix it up a little bit. And don't be afraid to like get a feature on it, you know, throw a homie on there and like have them do a verse. I think that'd be cool. Like, you know, since you're like on the chorus and then you're like rapping on the verses and then you come back in the chorus, and I don't know, even a texture of like a female or doing some vocal chops, like more singer stuff on in there. You know, just try to switch it up a little bit. Just play around with that. The drums are just like a little too basic programming as well. Like try to saturate them, try to get them a little bit more, a little more vibe to them. You know, I think that'll help a lot. Just kind of tie the track together. But yeah, there's definitely a place for that kind of music, man. Like, you know, that kind of chill hop, you know, I don't even know what to call it, but like R&B, hip hop kind of vibes. You know, that's gonna be all over Spotify playlists. You just got to get that sound right and get the arrangement right. All right, let's move on. Enrique Nambo. Let's roll.
Estoy contigo, tú y yo solitos.
All right, I've been like kind of just waiting for something to happen in this song, to be honest. It's hard, man. Like I don't feel like this is done, you know? I feel like this was like someone sat down at the piano and like was starting to write something, but they never really arranged it. Yeah, it just feels, and it's like also kind of confusing. Like, I'll be honest with you, not just because like I don't like speak Spanish as much anymore, you know, but yeah, like it's just kind of confusing to me. Like, you have this like really processed vocal and everything's kind of really processed, but it's like a very beautiful organic sound, like a grand piano. And then there's this like weird synth sound in the back that just feels like someone's trying to produce the song, you know? I feel like you got to choose a lane. Like, do you want this to just be like piano and voice? If so, make it really organic. Like, take the vocal back, don't compress it so much. Make it very just organic, recording in the studio, live kind of feel. You know what I mean? If you want to produce it up, I think you have to really like speed this up and make it an actual track. You know? Like, you have to make it a song, like a record. There's no drums, there's no like beat, there's no like, nothing else comes in. It's like the vocal and the piano and that weird synth. And then I just feel like it's like, what do we do from here is kind of the question I feel like that you guys have, which is fine, you know, like I understand. Yo, big shout out my guy Lauren. Appreciate you, man. It means so much, dude. Thanks for the super chat. Super chatting it up. Yeah, if you're going to go organic with it, like, you know, you need to maybe do a quartet, you know, orchestrate some strings, get someone to orchestrate some stuff. If you want it to be bigger, if you want it to just be like piano and this beautiful voice, fine. Like, but break it down and like make it super organic. Make it feel like someone's sitting in the middle of a room with a baby grand and they're just singing, you know, you know, like playing piano. That's cool. But as far as like how this is mixed and how it's produced, it's not really working, I don't think. But that's not to say you can't like, you know, back off everything and then like try just like put the piano in, have the vocals sing to the piano, and do it as organic as possible. But it just depends on what you want to go for, Namba. Like, it really does. Like, you do whatever you want to do, and, you know, find the lane for the song. That's really what you got to do. And then, you know, you could find a producer to produce that song, do like the remix of it or whatever. That could be really cool. All right, let's move on. Mark Rickards, Free Fallin'. Tom Petty, you mean? All right, so I don't typically do instrumentals on these lives, as you guys already know if you've been in the live before. So I'm not really going to give you notes on this. I mean, I don't really know what to give you notes on. You know, it's a dance track, EDM instrumental. I mean, you know, sounding pretty good, man. Let's move on. Christopher Bush.
She wanna be the baddest bitch, you know, for real. She just want to be that bitch for real. I just pull up, I got me the real. You ain't gotta lack and carry that steel. If you don't know that shit, you know for real. If you don't know that shit, you get that still. Get them killers out here ready to kill. She wanna be the baddest bitch up on the hill.
She wants something nice that'll hold her tight. Overnight, make the shipping flights. Different shit that'll run the line.
All right, so this is a common mistake in trap music, is not really being in key. And what I mean by that is not necessarily like, oh, the vocal's out of key with, you know, everything else. No, it's the kick drum's not in the right key. The 808's not in the right key. The 808's not tuned. The pitch isn't right. It's not holding its pitch. And you have this boom, 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 doom, doom, boom, 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 and then you like it's just kind of everywhere, which means there's no harmonic center to the song, and when you don't have that, you lose people instantly. Like when this 808 hits here, like I can't even tell the pitch of that 808. It's so hard.
I can carry that still. If you don't know that shit, you know for real.
But it definitely doesn't sound in key. And the biggest trick I would say to do this right, Chris, is to bring that 808 up octaves, right? Like bring it up 2 octaves and listen to it and make sure it's in pitch. And if you're in Logic, open up the tuner and make sure it's like on pitch. And if it's not, go into your sampler and like, you know, tune the 808. Just tune everything up. Make sure everything's tuned up. The auto-tune vibe on this is just like nah, it's a no-go for me. The drums, the 808, the bass, it's all kind of mixed really bad. The vocals are like really recorded poorly. They're really thin. Sounds like they were recorded through some like really prosumer stuff. Like, you know, went through whatever you had at home and the microphone, like you were just eating the microphone. It's not real. You know, and it's not sounding good. And then you EQ'd the crap out of it and tried compressing it and all that. It's just like doing too much, you know, and not knowing why. And I think that's a big mistake with making records, is like doing stuff but not knowing why you're doing stuff. You have to be super intentional with everything you do, with mixing, recording, writing, the melodies you're choosing. You know, like, oh, for real. For real. Like, no, you gotta pick a melody, you know, like, she does the stuff for real. She loves for real. You gotta be careful, like, moving too much with notes as well, because melodies only work when they're really basic, especially with like trap and pop music. All right, Mr. Sparks, Zenith Rose, Sad Mess. Let's roll into this.
I'm running to catch my last plane, to travel far away from this place. In my heart, say, oh, where to go? Even though you don't want, I can't help it, you don't deserve it. This city is small for the both of us, both of us, both of us, both of us. We used to be together always, but these days emotion and high we act like we can't stand each other, but I'm standing closer than before.
Yeah, I don't think this is working, man. Couple things I could say is like the drum pattern is like, it's anticipatory, right? But like you can't make people anticipate for like a minute of this. It feels like the song's starting and then it's stopping again. And then it's starting again. And then it's stopping again. And then it's starting again. I'm like so confused by this song. The biggest reason being is like, right away, you guys like pay attention. This vocal comes in and you're like waiting for this story to come in. And then they give you like another like 2 to 4 bars of just the beat. I'm like, what? Why? Like, listen to this.
I'm running to catch my last plane to travel far away from this place. Yeah, my heart's laid even though you don't want,
Yeah, it just doesn't, that doesn't translate, man. Like, the melodies also aren't like ending right to like come onto another thing, if that makes sense. There's not like a thread. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna do this other thing. I'm just not understanding, you know? Like, I don't. Yeah, exactly. I was waiting for the drop. Yeah, totally. I'm waiting for a drop too. I'm waiting for like something to come in here, like maybe like here, 45 seconds. Like, why all this anticipatory stuff? And the drum's doing this really weird pattern that's just kind of off-putting and do 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 do. Like, what? Why? I'm gonna keep listening, but this whole part right here is just so confusing. Yeah, this one's kind of a hard pass for me. It's the writing and the arrangement just needs a lot of work, man. Like, you can't be doing all this and then finally get into like a snare drum coming in. And it's like the same thing. Like this whole concept of like sing a little phrase and then we do da da dee da da dee da dee da 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 yeah. Maybe rethink the arrangement. Like, just start again. Michael Gerald, let's go.
Visions in my head be like crazy, always crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, 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 baby, baby, so crazy, so crazy. Visions in my head be like crazy, always crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, 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 baby, baby, so crazy, so crazy.
All right, so the big thing this is lacking is sound design and movement, right? So first of all, this shouldn't loop twice at the front. There's no need to do that. There's nothing new coming in. So like, why play this twice through when we've already established this loop? Okay, so like you don't need to establish this loop and then play this loop again without any vocals or anything on it. It's a waste of space. Okay, so get rid of that, cut it down to 15 seconds. Sorry, getting a phone call here. cut that down to 15 seconds. Cut the intro in half, right? And then as you come into this part where you're like got drums and everything coming in, you need to have some sort of like transition effect, or maybe it just drops, like make it silent here, you know, and then go into like this impactful thing like pumping. Bring in new sounds and ideas and textures every few bars, like 4, 8 bars, like 8 bars in, bring in another texture or like a little melody thing or something, right? Because like you've already established the cool little like found sounds and sampled sounds within your drums. We've already heard those, so they go to the back of the mind. They're not that interested in it anymore. So you got to bring more things in or different things in, drop out other things, etc., to give yourself more dynamic and more flow, especially considering that this track is relying heavily on the instrumental. And this part right here, way too long. If you're going to do this again, you have to have things like moving in and out. Very simple way of doing this is filtering, right? Like this part here can go and get filtered out. And then you can have something else that comes in on the top, like a new synth or a guitar or something. You need movement if you're going to just play these instrumental parts. You need movement, you need melody, you need something to tickle the ear or keep the listener engaged. Otherwise, you're going to lose them. The vocalist is good. You know, she's all right. She needs a little more coaching on like, you know, getting her notes solid, but also like I would say coaching on stacking harmonies, putting in cool, interesting tones, whispery ad libs, whatever else is going to keep this flowing and keep this going, because it just doesn't sound. Yeah, it doesn't sound done. It sounds kind of like demo-y. And then, let's listen from here now since we kind of like got that stuff out of the way.
Visions in my head be like crazy, always crazy, crazy, crazy.
So see, we've already heard this, so we don't want to hear this again. Visions in my head be crazy. Like you've already done this. Like we don't need a big break of the same instrumental that you've already played and then repeating the same thing that we've already heard, unless you're going to bring in new things, new stacks, new ideas, new sounds, you know, like a like new sound design, new things, right? That's the only way you can do a repeating vocal like this, is that you really work the instrumental. Working with like sound design, serum patches, lots and lots of automation, things like that. But that's my best piece of advice for you on this, Michael, is like you really got to go into the sound design if you want to carry this track through. Otherwise, like it just kind of gets pushed into the background by the time you get to about a minute and a half in. You're just kind of like, okay, you gonna give us anything new? No? Okay. Well, I've already heard it, you know. Which is going to kill your replayability. Like, people don't want to hear it over and over again. They won't play it over and over again. And unfortunately, we live in a streaming era now. We don't live in like a, I'm going to take your CD and listen to your whole album sort of thing. So now it's like, repeat the song. If the song is repeatable, it has to be craveable. People have to crave a certain moment in the song, certain textures, certain sound design, a drop. Auditory sonic moment where you're like, whoa, I love that part. It just makes me like just lose my shit. It's so cool. Even if you take the vocal and do stuff with the vocals, chop up the vocal, whatever you want to do, but just get more creative on it. It sounds like this is kind of like the first pass. I would go in and do another pass, keep going through the layers, keep going, do another pass, and spend a lot of time on thinking about the sounds and the design and sprucing it up, making it more interesting for the listener, taking them on a journey, and keeping them very entertained. But it's got a cool start, man. Like, you got a really cool vibe there. Duh, hipster chopsticks. Let's go.
Yeah, that OG. 3-5 in the old league. Young and stay toe heat. Quit the shooting nigga with all that playing. Real shooters pull up, they spraying. On your block, dead, I be laying. I got the drums on shooting shit. Pull up with shooters, young niggas, they shooting shit. Hits the young nigga, I ain't hard to miss. Posting trap with a chopstick. I'm in a form with exotic bitch. You know they hits the always on exotic shit. Pull up on rockin' designer kicks. Hits the he always rockin' designer shit. I went to science to protecting me. Pull up with artillery. Smoke a nigga like cigarette. Heard your bitch, she feeling me. Hits the young nigga in skinny jeans. Dope a cup on sippin' lean. I got the Glock with triple B. Carbine and 223. Hit a nigga, make a soda lean. Young niggas pull up on bullshit. His young nigga.
All right, so this just sounds like recorded and produced really poorly, to be honest. I think you gotta get a little upgrade in your sound, bro. It just kind of sounds like you know, yeah. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm kind of at a loss for words on that one. Kind of sounds like it was like recorded in a weird garage with, like, you know, some random equipment someone found. I don't know, man. Invest in your sound, bro. Oscar Bazin, no cut, shots fired.
Straight raw, no cut. You know what I mean? Yeah. Flipping those, man, they know what's the move now. We got shooters and they ain't got nothing to lose now. I don't know what the fuck they on, what they thought, yeah. Leave them traced in that motherfucking chalk, yeah. Leave them traced in that.
Nah, bro, you gotta get your auto-tune right first off. You can't hit the wrong note. Leave them like the auto-tune's trying to grab you on a different note. You gotta hit the right note. That's super important. First of all. Second of all, don't throw like a bunch of effects on your vocal if you don't know what you're doing with effects, because all it's doing is making for a really, really weird listening experience where the vocal's like doing this kind of shit, right? It just doesn't sound cool. So don't pan your vocals like that. Don't use the flanger or the chorus or whatever you're using on your vocals. Just not cool. Yeah, record your vocals better. Keep them up the center. And then if you want to do effects stuff, like, yeah, cool, have effects. Do effects throws. Do doubles. Stack another thing. You know, and put them on the sides. Like, that's cool, but you're fucking up the whole vibe with that. But the first thing always is going to be like, if you're not in tune, you're not in pitch, like, that's going to fuck up my vibe. I think most people just be like, yeah, this is whack. I mean, you know, telling you how it is. Like, most listeners are going to be like, nah, trash, skip it. So I'm going to keep listening just because I want to see what you did with your verses.
Motherfucking chalk, yeah. You niggas is haters to me. I just want the paper, you see. I'm fucking your lady for free. It ain't no taking from me. I'm keeping that thing with me. My niggas untamed, off of the leash. Bitch, you gon' creep right out the street. When I'm so in that heat, you know that it's me. Hey.
Yeah, you got some crazy phasing issues on your vocals too. I think you're double tracking them, but they're out of phase and it sounds really weird and like really filtered, and yeah, it just doesn't sound right. It's either like your gear's fucked up, your microphone's fucked up, or you like did some weird EQing and like sending to different buses that were like, you know, colliding and like mismatching and giving you this weird phasey issue. So that's just not working. Terrence McGowan, Hood Stars, let's go.
Hood Stars, baby. Yes. Messenger Nef The Pharaoh. Yeah. Hood Stars, nigga. Wait till that movie come. Fucking these hoes is usually fun. My jewelry dumb.
Nah, man. No way. This is a no-go. You, like, clipped it out completely. Sounds like you're rapping over a stereo 2-track beat, but it's just not working. It's just, like, totally distorted, totally clipped out. No one's going to give this the time of day, I'll be honest with you. They're just going to hear that much of it, and they're going to be like, what the hell is going on? So You know, look, like a lot of these songs are like getting pumped out by someone's computer, you know, bedroom studios, etc. Nothing wrong with that. You can totally make great music in your bedroom. But you have to pay attention to the details. And if you're not able to get like your mixes, your masters to a certain point, or you're clipping them out like this, nobody's going to listen. I'm going to be real with you, which kind of like kills all your opportunities, right? Like, why make music and put it out or share it with anybody, or, you know, put it out and distribute it even on SoundCloud if no one's really like, yo, I can't listen to this. It doesn't make sense to my brain. It hurts my ears. Most consumers aren't going to be like, oh, it's clipped out and it's just too clipped out and distorted. Most listeners aren't even going to think about that. You can have a vibe with the track that has like maybe a shitty mix, but it's a great song and it's a great vocal performance and all that stuff. So they'll deal with some of the clipping and stuff. And soft clipping's cool, man. Like, I like soft clipping, but you know, when everything kind of just mismatches, where you don't have the performance, you don't have the writing, you don't have the beat and production, and then you go and clip it and distort it, like most of the time people are going to be like, I hate this. I don't know why I hate this, but it's driving me crazy. So, you know, I recommend, if you can't get something to a certain point and you're being serious about your music, I'm only talking to the serious people. Like, you know, I don't know if Terrence is really that serious with his music. I don't know if he's releasing music and, you know, trying to run a career and promoting his music and putting money behind it. But if you're really that serious, you hire an engineer. You hire someone to mix for you. You hire someone to help you record. You go to a studio. You know, you cut demos, sure, at home and stuff, but by the time you're ready to like make a record and you want to put it out, that's an investment, you guys. Like, even paying distribution and stuff, that's an investment. Paying for album artwork, even if you go on Fiverr, you're going to spend like at least $50 on a decent artwork. That's an investment. Like, why spend the money if you're just going to like shit out music? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. All right, let's move on. Little perks. I get it, drugs. See, this is why I fuck with you, Lauren, because you're always dropping super chats like $5 at a time, just showing love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just love that. I really appreciate that. So thank you so much, man. And what's say, Roundtail, I got a remix an engineer friend of mine's just did. He reviewed the original a couple of weeks ago. Tell me what you think. Oh, awesome. I'm excited to hear that for sure, dude. All right, let's get into this little perk.
Thinking if you want hanging with clicks because you ain't texting my phone. It's the same thing over and over again. Just pick up the phone. Please. You act like you got it, you don't. So stop with that talking for we to walking you down. My shooters stay clutch. Broke my heart, starting running them bucks. We never scare ops, we blow past 5 of the minute I aim at his top. What the fucks you got? Now it's not yours, my goon. He up with a Glock. Me, I shoot for the stars and into the moon. Wanna be tight to fill up the room. Getting that cash, I'm racking the views. Got too much pain. Never gonna stop us, never gonna let up at night when I sleep without you. I'm never gonna flop, my boys, the real thing out there, beaming in twos. Julie froze on watch you go to your reason I'm moving with two. Making me cold, wear chains while I sleep, just know you gon' die for this too. We never scare ops, we blow past 5 of the minute I aim at his top. What the fucks you got? It's not yours, my goon, he up with a Glock. Me, I shoot for the stars and into the moon. Wanna be tight to fill up the room. Getting that cash, I'm racking the views.
Okay, hey, look, there's like something pretty original about this, and it has a vibe to it. And then there's a lot of just like loose ends with this, you know what I'm saying? So I like the vocal. I think the timbre of the vocal is like really cool, really unique. He's got a cool voice, sounds young, sounds fresh, like coming out of the pocket, right? I think the beat is kind of cool, right? Like, it has like kind of that throwback stuff. You know, it's got that throwback 80s cowbell kind of vibe that comes off like the 808, you know, the rolling 808 and stuff. Might even be the 909. I'm not really sure, but yeah, just like some throwback vibes. I like the I like the vocal sample thing. Like, that's sick. I just think overall, like, just the arrangement needs some work, right? Like, I don't want to hear just like a rap the whole time and I'm keep on rapping and I keep on talking and I don't know really like if this is talking and I'm rapping, I'm still rapping. Like, I'd like to hear like a break and then I'd like to hear like an actual hook, you know, something that is going to be catchy, you know? Da 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 da, me, da 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 da. But da 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 da, like something that's gonna be hooky, catchy, something that I can like remember. Because I'll be honest with you, I just listened to 1 minute and 15 seconds of this. I don't remember one word he said in here, you know, and that's okay. It's a vibe, you know. You could just bump the vibe. That could be cool, but there's just nothing really like to hold on to, you know. Lionel's asking, catchy? Catchy, meaning something to hook onto, something to remember, something to be, to catch on so that you can remember after you play it. So you want to hear it again. So you want to actually like play this over and over again on streaming. So you want to, I mean, what do I need to explain catchy for? All right, but cool vibe, man. You got like 3 in here. I'm not going to listen to all of them. Snake Water by Seed Squatch. Let's go. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard this track. You know, Seed Squatch has been sending this back and forth to me, just because I'm gonna end up mixing and mastering this one. So it's hard to give notes on it because most of my notes are like mixing and mastering notes. But I do have, you know, it's just like clouding stuff, like drums and bass playing nicely together, getting things out of the way. It's very mono sounding right now. The vocals are getting clobbered by all the other frequencies in the guitars and the mid-range and stuff and the low mids. But here's the big stuff here. I'm going to give more notes on this one. With these drums here, there's a part here that's just not working for me. Yeah, the snare drum, it can't drop out there because then it feels like you're losing the momentum of the track. If anything, I would actually put more snare drum in there. You know, I'm a drummer. I grew up playing drums. It's like the first instrument I actually got serious about. But like right here, right? It's like fun. Like it needs. You know, like you can't drop out the snare because then all of a sudden the track feels like someone made a mistake in the band. You know what I mean? This part is just very jarring. So that's my note right there. Then you can make that part really work a lot better, but you can't drop out the snare drum. You lose the snare drum, you lose the actual and yeah, like you can't do that on this track. Not if you want to keep the momentum going into a new part. And then yeah, like I like the vibe, man. It sounds like it's got like this Tool, you know, Alice in Chains kind of vibe. I love it. I think it sounds really dope. And after I'm done mixing and mastering this thing, it's just gonna open up, you know, everything's just gonna, it'll all make sense to you guys. I promise. I'll show it to you when we're there. Yeah, deeper guitar sound is the problem there. Yeah, there's a lot of guitar, you know, like you got a lot of stuff that'll need some good filtering and some good, you know, I got some techniques. I'll take care of it. Yeah, I like this too. I like, yeah, I thought it was a change in key to a more major nice feel that was concerning to me in the same place. Yeah. Yeah, like I don't mind like the modulation kind of vibe, but it just needs to be done much more fluidly, and you cannot like drop out snare drum. Like that's like the backbeat, you know. But I like this track. I'm gonna have fun mixing it. I'm hyped for it. Really excited about it. All right, so Hood Rich Guap, you don't have actual audio file here, so I'm not going to play that. YFC The Boss, all fake. All fake. All right, let's go.
Hey yo, Pluto, going crazy. I'm smoking blunts to the face, I roll my blunts by the eighth. I could see it in their face that their soul's full of hate. How you eating more than me but trying to steal off my plate? Thought it was all love, it was really just all fake. That's why I be all by my damn self. That's why you call and you get the voicemail. So don't come looking for love, no love here. They say I'm just heartless and cold, yeah. Fuck love, that fake love made me hate love. So I'm smoking reefer trying to escape love. Chasing paper, sorry shawty, I can't chase ya. Cold world, I swear to God that I don't hate ya. Similar little rollerblades, I'm finna skate ya. I'm on my way to the top and I can't wait ya. I done put in my time, now I'm impatient. We are not on the same shit, just gotta face it, yeah. 2 wrongs will make it right, but 3 lefts do. I've been doing alright since I left you. When you left me, you helped me. I just fucked a model in a Bentley. Smoking blunts to the face, I roll my blunts by the eighth. I can see it in their face that their soul's full of hate. How you eating more than me but trying to steal off my plate? Thought it was all love, it was really just all fake. Really just all fake. Thought that it was love, it was really just just all fake. Yeah, just really was all fake. Thought that it was love, it was really just all fake. Yeah, really was all fake.
Yeah, I'm liking this vibe a lot, man. I think you got a potential like good song here, like a good record. Right now, to me, to my ears, and where I'm at in my career, I would just say that this is like in demo phase, like 100%. You're writing, you're still writing, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're still working on the writing and stuff, which is hard to like give you mixed notes and give you notes on this stuff, but. When you hit that chorus, you got to have a stack in there. You got to have some sort of harmony in there. You got to have doubles, ad-libs, whatever. You got to make that bigger, you know, when you come in with that. Other thing is the mix is really, really lacking. Like the kick drums is kind of in its own world. It's just doing its own thing. There's no sub, there's no 808, there's no foundational beef like in the low end. And for a track like this, you really got to have that like DaBaby kind of like huge round bottom that's going to hold and solidify your track together. Your vocal sounds like really heavy in like the really nasal area. And it doesn't really sit in the track. Like you're not sitting inside the track, which makes it sound less like a record as well. Yeah, and just things being like kind of unbalanced as far as levels go. And then like there's no effects, there's no like little throws like it was all fake. You know, like just like delayed throws, stuff to like help it move and bounce more. But this can all be accomplished with a nice mix and master. And you know, I'm booking May and June right now, you know, so if you want to get in for a mix and master with me, you know, hit me up, give me an email. I can make this shit a record easy. You just got to play your part. So if I go and do the mix and then, you know, or even like give you notes on what you can improve before you get it mixed and we go back and forth, that'd be something that'd be dope. Yeah, I really like this vibe. I agree, Castro. St. John for sure. Anyway, guys, 7:45. I'm actually out of time. You know, I do an hour every time now with these. So I really appreciate you guys coming through. And anyone I missed that's in the Radium Roundtable, I got you on Wednesday. Don't worry. Actually, maybe not this Wednesday because I might be out on this Wednesday. But yeah, we'll be no matter what, we'll get a review in on Wednesday, even if I got my guy Will jumping in. So. Really appreciate you guys coming through. Thanks so much for the track submissions. I try to get through as many as I possibly can every time I do these. You know, sometimes I have to skip tracks anyway because they're just really bad. But, you know, hopefully you got some love tonight and you learned something even from the tracks that weren't yours, you know what I mean? So that you can kind of apply this to your own music because that's really why I do this. I do this so you guys can get some feedback on music and kind of get a little bit of a perspective as we listen to stuff together. And hopefully it really helps. All right. So I appreciate you guys a lot. And for all you guys that are working with me on mixing and mastering and production, etc., I got all that stuff coming out this week because I got a lot of new stuff coming in for May and June. But anybody that wants mixing, mastering, production, and wants to work directly with me, you're more than welcome to hit me up with a song. I accept about 20% of the music, honestly, and I'm not cheap, so fair warning. But here's my email, bradley@radium-media.com. And you guys feel free to shoot over a track, and I'd love to listen. All right? Have a great Sunday. Peace out, babies.